In the first of the floor, instant reactions. Ben Vallis here along with Jake Eisenberg and Wayne Spooning. Guys, the Celtics 2-0 in the regular season. Never in doubt. How are we doing, guys?
I mean, Celtics win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little different feelings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I feel the same I felt after opening night.
Sure.
I would say I feel a little different.
More.
Look, it's like pizza, love. There are varying levels of these things, and they're still good kind of no matter what. Celtics winning is always good. But this was gross. This was gross. The Wizards are terrible. And I did say this. I was like, how do you get up for these games if you're the Celtics? Because, you win the title, dominate the entire season. You've tried to climb this mountain for so long. You expend 8 years of energy trying to get there. And you finally do it. You get up for the Knicks game. You destroy what is supposed to be the second best team in the East. And then you go play the worst roster I've ever seen. How do you mentally get yourself focused for something like that?
I don't know, man. When I see Alex Sarr staring across court from me, I got to bring my A game. But yeah, it was they were so clearly, especially Tatum in that third quarter was so clearly I'm just not getting hurt. I don't even think
3-pointers.
Yeah, just all threes didn't matter. Jalen, though, I'll say he kind of did that in the first half, and then the third quarter, he's like, shit, I got to get my 25 points too. And then he just decided to go to the rib, and he dominated, and then all of a sudden it's a 30-point game and it's over. So I guess the fact that we can recognize they were pretty disinterested and did not bring their A game, and it was essentially a 30-point blowout, probably speaks more to how fucking good this team is than it really speaks to anything else, and how bad Washington is. So they don't need to bring it A+ playoff style intensity like they did against the Knicks every night. I mean, we're playoff brained right now. We haven't, we forget about the fucking Thursday night in Washington. It's just different. So they did what they needed to do down there, and that's get the win. And Tatum, I don't think even played in the fourth quarter,
Nope,
and JB was out for the vast majority of it too. So that's perfect. That's what you want out of this type of game.
And JB totally cooked at the end of the third and beginning of the fourth as well, kind of padding his stats a little bit. But yeah, we got a little wet at the pool party early on, guys. And the Wizards were doing that thing that teams try and do as their only hope to beat the Celtics, which is just guard us really tight at the 3-point line, run us off the 3-point line, which is normally fine because we can also be so dominant in reaction to that in the paint, and just the intensity wasn't there. So you do have to fight a little bit harder to get those better looks in the paint. Obviously, there's a lot more spacing out beyond the perimeter. And yeah, we just didn't have the fight and the intensity early on. But then third quarter especially, we just kind of went to town a little bit. Tatum, not super efficient from three in this game. In fact, not efficient at all. But poor Alex Sarr, I've got to run the clip here. Tatum absolutely cooked.
I think that factors into it. By the way, I just saw a unicorn. A carry was called in the NBA. It was on Koulibaly. Tatum again going to work on Sarr. Oh, welcome to the...
We at least have that. We at least have Paris in this case.
He cooked him, man. Yeah, look, Alex Sarr ended up on Jason Tatum a fair bit tonight, which is not what you want. Yeah, Tatum just was working on his 3-point shot. Is his shot broken again? 3 for 11, 27%.
I thought it looked pretty pure still, right? Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Don't freak me out, Jake.
Hey, look, it was similar to the last preseason game in that he started, I think, 4 for 10 in that game, and then he just started shooting as many shots as he could, and that's what this felt like. He took a couple of really difficult ones, and that essentially is where the percentage went away. I'm just fucking around. I think.
I know.
I think it's fine. Don't freak out, T, in the chat. It looked fine. I know.
I actually thought I've so far been really impressed with his mid-range game. He got to a couple middies that looked really pure, really nice in both of these first two games. And then, yeah, I think he missed his last 3 threes. So in the competitive part of this game, he was 3 of 8, really. So yes. I'm fine with him chucking and not getting hurt. The free throws, though, man.
That was annoying.
He missed 3 fucking free throws. Come on, JT. But otherwise, he did slap up a 25, 11, and 6. So you can't be too critical of it.
First half, he had 20 and 9. And it was oh, okay.
That's crazy.
And I don't know, this might happen throughout the season. He has not played a fourth quarter yet, 2 games into the regular season, which is good, but I was like, oh, are the Wizards going to keep this close enough? Are the Celtics going to play with their food enough where Tatum's going to have to stay in the game and he's going to have to go for 40? And they made a run late to push it out to 10 at the end of the second quarter. And then, I swear by the time this first half, the second half even started, the lead was out to 20 before you even blink. And that kind of answered that question. But that's obviously good. The fact that they can kind of sleepwalk to a 20-point win, should have been a 30-point win. I'm very upset with the net rating protectors at the end of the bench here. That was a disgusting performance from Walsh and JD and those boys. But big picture, Tatum plays, 28 minutes. Al Horford, 20 minutes. So
we like to see.
That's what we like to see more than anything else,
above
really.
what we want.
So, 20 minutes above what we want to see.
Yeah. At least 5 minutes more. Go ahead, Ben.
There were times during the game, especially the second quarter, where I was watching Tatum he just looks worlds. It's obvious take, but he just looked so much bigger and so much stronger than everybody. And even though he wasn't sort of cooking in the way he was against the Knicks, he does look like a different species almost to everybody out there. He was just dominant in every facet of his game, which I know I should be totally used to, but I guess I'll never not get excited for that. He just looked worlds above everybody else. We talked about JB's dominant stretches there. I guess I'm kind of searching for what are the interesting takeaways from this game. Dare I get to the Tillman stroking it from everywhere, from beyond the arc side of things first? Or what do you
That
guys
was
think?
beautiful, man. That pick and pop he had was absolutely that's perfect. If he gets that shot in the bag,
Oh my God.
it just changes who he is as a player so much. I love the double high screen for Jalen, which lets him go either direction. And then I think it was Kata rolled and Tillman popped. I love that set for JB because it kind of simplifies the reads for him. It's either the roll man's there or the pop's there or they're playing you man up and you can just get downhill. So great play. And that shot, man, it looked really, really solid. And I think he hit a corner three too. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop on Tillman making shots, but he made him in the preseason. He's now two for
6.
2 for 6. All right. 33%'s all we need, baby.
33% would be very acceptable if he's gonna shoot 3 a game, and if he gives you 1 of 3 every game, that would be fantastic for a season for Tillman. I would win my bet as well, which I would prefer him to make 2 of 3 every game, or the 38% on the season. But I think 3 3-point attempts for Tillman per game is that's probably the max. It's and it's 2 games in a row, 3 3-pointers, and only wide open or late shot clock threes. That's great to me. There's something we need to talk about is Joe refused to play anyone outside of the circle of trust and who wasn't a big man, essentially. The only one that not in the circle of trust that got real minutes was Kata. And we saw 3 or 4 different double big lineups. We saw Horford and Tillman. We saw Luke Tillman. We saw Kata and Tillman. Not something I expected to see while the game was not in the balance, but when they were still playing their regulars. And he clearly doesn't trust Jordan Walsh yet, which is sad.
No, those are the moments of the least defensive fluidity, when it was double bigs with essentially Kata and anybody. And I don't think Luke was great tonight either. It's sort of a shame, I guess, to not see Walshy out there, but it's an indication as to, he's standing within the circle of trust. And it seems kind of both feet, maybe a toe inside the circle, Spoonie, but essentially both feet firmly outside the circle of trust.
Yeah, I think so. But I was really focusing on Kata because we're up 25 or whatever, and it's the Wizards. I think he's starting to figure it out a little bit defensively. He had some really nice rotations, a couple really good scram switches, and which is just shit he was messing up most of last season. So if he starts putting that together, I thought he did really well. Valanciunas tried to post him up a couple times and he stood firm, stood his ground. And then offensively, what he's going to give you. He's going to roll to the rim. He's going to offensive rebound. And the finishing's not bad by any means. He's got kind of a soft touch. So I'm intrigued. I think Cornette and Kata didn't play together. The Kata Tillman minutes in the third quarter were actually like really productive. I don't know if that's something I trust going forward for long periods of time, but like it's the Wizards. Why the hell not? Maybe you find something, like maybe something unexpected pops, and they looked pretty solid together. So who knows? But I thought Kata was good tonight.
Kata was good tonight, man. But go ahead, Ben.
No, I just thought Walsh would have been the obvious rotational adjustment in lieu of Sam Hauser. But really, for the most part, like we just saw more Tillman to begin with. There was just a lot more like heavier Tillman minutes early. And then we sort of started to see the integration of Cater as well. I suppose what I'm talking about with the lack of fluidity was just the switching. Jake, you had a tweet about this, which sort of drew my attention to it. Was just the poor switching between the 4 and 5 spot with Cater out there and Luke out there as well. So normally we've typically play one big and then multiple wings, but double big, and when you've got the sort of lack of experience in Cater's case, it just makes for less fluidity there. But we're nitpicking. Like, we just blew out the Wizards, essentially.
Yeah, we're going to nitpick, and because this is the expectations, man. We're trying to win a title, but on that point in particular, that it's like I don't mind like playing the double bigs. I just didn't understand why you would, if it's a 4-5 action where Horford and Cater are in the action, why are you having Horford chase over screens? Why are you not just switching that? Like, I don't really get why. Like, what's the point of that? Like, they're like pretty much the same defender, so just switch that, as opposed to asking my glorious, beautiful man Al Horford, asking him to chase over screens and do screen navigation, which he did pretty well considering he's a 38-year-old 6'10" center. But like, why not just switch it? Because I think that's actually pretty good. I don't hate Cater. I guess it's that you have so many arms and stuff and like you can't, if they execute the drop properly, like there's so many limbs and like length, and like Cater's athletic, you can still disrupt stuff. I would just rather see them switch a 4-5 action with Cater and Horford involved.
Yeah, or just have Al go under. And it's like, dude, if you're going to hit a pull-up 3, fine, whatever, who cares?
Totally.
Like, it's crazy to have Al trying to get over the top of screens and stay in like a ball handler's pocket. And it's like, Jordan Poole, I think, started 5 of 6 from 3 and ended 6 of 11, which is the most Jordan Poole shit ever. Like, that's just what he does. And there's nobody else I'm scared of taking a pull-up 3 on this Wizards team. They made 1 3 that wasn't Jordan Poole. Which is just insane. So, and like even Kuz, man, like he's just messing around. So yeah, like there's no need.
Dude.
He got booed at one point for like trying to be saucy with the ball.
I tweeted out when he like lost the ball and tried to take like a step back off of it and fucking airballed it. That was amazing.
Yeah, man.
What's wrong? Ah, man, what a rough, team to be a fan of, dude. Like, I forget who tweeted it, but the stadium was half full, and of the people that were there, half of the fans were at least Celtics fans. It's like, and that's opening night. You have the second overall pick. And like, you'd think there'd be maybe a little bit of juice, but I feel very good about the Wizards being one of my locks for under. I think we saw that tonight. Yeah, Jordan Poole was 6 for 7 from 3 in the first half, and the team was 6 for 21. It was pretty, like Kuzma, dude. Like, he's not even that bad, but like when he does bad shit, it looks so bad. It's similar to Russell Westbrook, where when he's a fine player, like he's a fine role player, but when he does bad shit, it's like awful decisions, like layups that hit the bottom of the rim, turnovers into the second row. That's the type of stuff where Kuzma like tries to do behind the back dribbles and then throws it over the backboard. It's brutal.
So the Garden Report is live, so we have to go. We're going to be back live on this channel 2 hours from now for Celtics Late Night. While you're here, though, thank you for joining us. Please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the First of the Floor YouTube channel or audio podcast. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap up?
2-0. There we go.
That's all we need. All we want.
That's all that matters. Let's go.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Smash that like button, and we'll see you next time. Peace.